You are listening to the B.I.G. Show with your hosts, Calvin and Garland. The B.I.G. Show is a weekly breakdown of the sports world from a fan's perspective. Here are your hosts, Calvin and Garland.
It is the big show.
Ribbon in the sky.
Listen. First of all, thank you for joining us. We're live on YouTube. We're on all the podcast platforms. And if you do have Spotify, you will get to see our beautiful mugs. Unless you Stevie Wonder, then you won't be able to see anything, but you can hear us.
Don't do that.
No. You said Stevie trying to take my wife. Stevie going, butterflies begin.
Right.
Having been a nurse. Listen. Anyway, Garland, what you got going on, man?
Someone your love with a dozen roses.
That's exactly why he made that song that you hate, because he be going in and out of the women with the part-time lover.
Right. Woo!
Y'all not privy to the conversations before we get started. I'm just saying, Garland be wilding, y'all.
Oh God!
You ever get on the podcast with Garland, he be wilding.
You know what? I'm fine. As a matter of fact, you know what? You slandered me earlier today in the text chat. Yeah, you did. You and straight Baltimore. You slandered me. You said that I was a hater like Nestor Aparicio, like Nasty Nestor. You thought I forgot about that. I should have made you my someone, yo.
I said I was joking. I said I came back and was like, nah.
They be coming for me, y'all, in the text line. Y'all just don't know. They always be coming for my head in the text line. That's all right.
God,
Only God can judge me. That's the book I'm reading right now about Tupac, and that's my life. Only God can judge me.
Jason is a Ravens hater, and Garland is an Orioles hater. So you definitely just like Nestor, because both y'all Oriole haters.
I am not. Man, let's get into this, because you out here just spreading misinformation about me.
God, who was the one?
I hate the Royals.
Who was the one that talked about Jackson Holiday so bad, but then popped up with his T-shirt on? I was like, how you gonna wear his T-shirt?
I never talked about that boy so bad. I talked about him last year because he shouldn't be batting clean. Shouldn't be batting lead off.
No, every time he came up, Garland was like, here come a strikeout. But Garland sit in front of me at the game. Garland be like, here come a strikeout. And I look down, Holiday, right on the back of his shoulders. Like, I thought this was your man's, yo. It be your own niggas, yo. It be your own niggas.
And what would happen? Strikeout.
He might. But still, yo.
Strikeout.
You supposed to be his man 50 grand. You like Harper slept with his woman and he found out the night before the wedding. You about to throw your ass off the balcony.
Like, yeah, my boy, what's up? He coming in the room all like, yeah. You fuck me up. All right, man, let's get into this. Hey, man, unless people TV was broken last week, or you didn't get your hookup for your hookup cable, the cable man ain't come run the illegal cable for you. There was Super Bowl last week, and led by defense and special teams, armed with the quarterback nobody believed in, Calvin, and run by a 38-year-old second-year coach, the Seattle Seahawks smothered the New England Patriots 29-13 to win their second Super Bowl title in franchise history. The Patriots offense didn't play very well all postseason, and it was on full display to the world on Sunday. Drake May was sacked 6 times in the Super Bowl game. 8 of the Patriots' first 9 possessions ended with a punt, and the other was a kneel down to close out the first half. When the third quarter finished, the Patriots only had 78 yards of total offense. The Seahawks trailed for only 1 minute and 35 seconds in this postseason, and that's the fifth least amount of time trailing by any Super Bowl champion since the 1970 merger. They also stuck with their run game on offense. Kenneth Walker III ran for 135 yards on 27 carries and was named Super Bowl MVP. So, Calvin, what are some things that stood out for you in the game Sunday on the
Yeah,
field?
man.
And we're going to talk
Yeah.
about some other stuff in a minute. Mm-hmm.
So we talked about we all pretty much figured that Seattle's defense was going to dominate. And New England's defense actually played well for 3 quarters. They didn't play bad, but just the level of defensive play calling and planning that Mike McDonald and the Seahawks had was just amazing. And if you had a chance to look into, they've shown some clips of what they were doing. I mean, they took advantage of the left tackle, the left tackle that was drafted number 4.
Yes.
They made this guy look like he wasn't even there. They made him look so bad that people are like, well, maybe he should move to guard. They ain't even
Will Campbell, they didn't say put him inside now. They said your tackle career over.
Yeah, they ain't even giving him a chance. But also, the offensive play calling for the Patriots. And again, if you looked at any of the game film afterwards, you'll see that the Patriots had the middle open. The Seahawks didn't respect it because for whatever reason, the Patriots just wanted to go long and let Drake May try to wait for something to develop. And you could see the blitz was coming. There was nothing he could do. They weren't throwing any short passes. They barely used Hunter Henry. It was just like the game plan was perfect, and the Patriots seemed to be scared to just let go. Drake May did not look good. I know Garland mentioned he really didn't look good all through the playoffs, which is true.
All
But
postseason.
and I think about the night he played the Ravens, where he looked like he was the next coming to Joe Montana that night.
Man, Zach Orr. Thank you, Zach Orr.
But no, man, it kind of went the way it was scripted. But yeah, what stood out to me was the excellent play of the Seattle defense. Had the Patriots not scored in desperation in the last quarter, we might be talking about the Seahawks being up there as one of the top defenses in the Super Bowl with the Ravens and the Bears.
Most definitely. Mike McDonald's excellence showed. I mean, this is what we saw in Baltimore his last 2 seasons when he was there, where he really was, running this simulated pressure, having 8 in the box, 3 dropping out, 5 getting to the quarterback, with a blitz tied in that. It was one instance, I think this was the maybe the third or fourth quarter, and Patriots were going hurry up. And, usually in hurry up, people just lining up, trying to rush the passer. And the Seahawks came with a blitz off of the hurry up. And so, it shows the level of planning and detail that McDonald and his defensive staff had for that game. Kubiak, I was kind of like at one point, why are you trying to throw the ball? Because these guys cannot stop Kenneth Walker. He probably should have had 200 plus yards in this game. At one point, it's unfortunate that he did not score a touchdown. But the Patriots, yes, they played very good defense. As a matter of fact, as Calvin tried to remind me last week, because I said they were going to score 33. I respected that defense. As a matter of fact, Gonzalez, their defensive back, he made several great plays. He basically shut down Jackson Smith and Jigba. And so I thought just defensively, that's where the game was really won. I think offensively, they did enough. I mean, you got your quarterback in there. He did not turn the ball over. He did not make any mistakes. That's all you could have asked of him. Everybody kept on saying, when is he going to turn back to Sam Darnold that we know? When is he going to start, throwing the interceptions and all of those things and fumbling the ball? And I think, him being able to manage that game, it was kind of almost like he was a new millennium our quarterback that won the Ravens' first Super Bowl, Trent Dilfer.
Trent Dilfer.
You know, it was almost like he was a new millennium Trent Dilfer. I told Calvin, I'll never forget, I think it was some point last year, they were playing all of the Super Bowls on NFL Network. And the Ravens' first Super Bowl game came on against the Giants. And I was like, oh my God, Trent Dilfer was horrible. He missed at least 3 touchdown passes in that game. He had one where the wide receiver was wide open running down this field, and he threw it over his head out of bounds. And so Darnold, he hit the receivers when he needed to hit them. He didn't turn over the ball, and I think that was really the point that helped them win this game. Other than that, Calvin, I mean, it was a pretty boring game. I mean, it was punt, 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 field goal, punt, punt, punt. What was it? 9-0 at half, 6-0 at half. And so it was not, offensively exciting like you would want. But, second half, it got a little close at some points. But, they did what they needed to win. And so congratulations to the Seahawks. Congratulations to Mike McDonald, of course, that make Baltimore Ravens fans even madder because McDonald was here and we let him go. Look, y'all, you don't know. You don't know. And there's no guarantee that if they would have kept McDonald, that they would have won a Super Bowl. I think that we did waste some opportunities in those couple years in terms of from 23 through 25, some missed opportunities that we had. And you wish, some coaching decisions were better, but there's no way you could have fired John Harbaugh after that loss to KC after the season they had. And so
you're coming off the AFC Championship game. You're
yeah,
not getting
no
rid of your coach.
You're not getting rid of the coach.
AFC Championship game. Hey man, they talked about one of the things that they kept putting on the Patriots, and the Patriots really wanted to shake off was their weak schedule throughout the season. They kept saying, they had the weakest schedule, and they benefited from them. The Patriots really wanted to shake that off, but I mean, they kind of got exposed out there. Like it kind of showed up. Hey man, my man Sam Darnold hit a P. Diddy at the music awards. He went up and was like, everybody want to know when I'm gonna turn into Sam Darnold. I guess we'll never know.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he's going to have some baby oil. You may turn into Kanye.
Kanye. Who did I say? Diddy?
Yeah, you said Diddy.
They're all problematic.
I guess we'll never know.
I guess we'll never know.
So coming out of the game, man, what do you think were some winners for you in terms of, as a outcome of this game? And I'll lead off. I think for defensive coordinator, head coaches, this is a winner. The last couple of hiring cycles, everybody's looking for the boy genius offensive coordinator. And I think this was a big win for defensive coordinator head coaches, those who are, seeking to get those jobs, that are, scheming up like Mike McDonald schemed up. And so I thought that was a good win because a lot of the focus has been, you need an offensive mind. You need an offensive mind as your head coach. As a matter of fact, that's what some people were pointing to, that while a lot of African-American coaches are not getting an opportunity to coach because they're coming from the defensive side of the ball, not the offensive side of the ball. But, I think this does well. This bodes well for defensive coordinator coaches.
Yeah, let me tell you who it's going to benefit. It's going to benefit Russell Wilson, because now they can forget about Russell Wilson not handing that fucking ball off. They got his ring now, even though they'll be like, we should have 3, but they can get over that get that nasty taste out their mouth. It's also definitely helping Mike Vrabel. They may have lost the game, but coming into a team off of Jarrett Mayo, we talked about that last week a little bit, where Mike Vrabel took them from 3-14 to 14-3, made a Super Bowl. I mean, if nothing else, win or lose, you've got to give him his props as one of the premier coaches in the league right now. Christian Gonzalez, we talked about him. He was there shining light on defense, shutting down Jackson, even though Jackson Smith and Jigba got hurt and all, but Christian Gonzalez did well. Kenneth Walker, man, being MVP, he's a free agent this year, and a lot of talk was they were going
Okay.
to stick with Charbonnet and let Kenneth Walker test free agency market. They may have to rethink that right now. I mean, that boy, we talked about him throughout the playoffs, especially when Charbonnet went down, how he took off. So, yeah, man. And of course, number one, Sam Darnold. He shook whatever ghost was off of him. He got a Super Bowl ring. That's something you can't take from that man. He led his team to a Super Bowl ring all season long. Who it hurts? Well, the Minnesota general manager got fired because he wanted to go with JJ McCarthy. And JJ McCarthy, would they go? They went 3-14 this year.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely hurt him. Eh, I want to say it hurt Drake May. I know he's only in his second year, but he didn't look good. He didn't look like the boy wonder everybody thought he was. And we already talked about that left side of their offensive line. It definitely hurt those young men right there.
Definitely. I think another winner for me was Bad Bunny, the halftime show. It was so much controversy around this from the time that the NFL announced that he was going to be the halftime show. Now, I am a 59-year-old man. I can let you know, probably it wasn't until Michael Jackson did the halftime show, which was because of In Living Color. In Living Color, the year before, had did a halftime show when they didn't have Fox didn't have the Super Bowl, but they decided they were going to do some a show at halftime, and that made the NFL react to start getting top flight artists to perform at halftime because they were siphoning off viewers. And so, yeah, I've seen Up for People at halftime. I've seen, some crazy stuff at halftime. Bad Bunny, no, I did not understand any of the words that he was saying, but I loved the performance. I loved seeing some other type of culture. I didn't really even realize that was Lady Gaga. And that was part of the show, and other people's that were part of the show.
Ricky
And so
Martin, Cardi
Ricky
B,
Martin,
Carol
Cardi B,
G. Yeah.
yeah, and so I think that halftime show and the ratings, it was the second highest rating halftime show behind last year's halftime show with Kendrick Lamar. And so the numbers were well, they didn't have a big drop off. And, big win for Bag Money, big win for diversity. And as a matter of fact, when I think about a loser, I think about Turning Point USA and Racist People and their halftime show, and Kid Rock and these other people I never heard of. Kid Rock ain't had a hit in decades, but these people think they are the moral arbiters of what is right and what is wrong in the country. And from what I understand, they ran into licensing issues at the last minute when they were trying to live stream the show, so they couldn't live stream it on some platforms because they didn't have the proper licensing for the songs. And when they looked at the YouTube hits, comparing the Turning Point USA show versus Bad Bunny's views almost triple those that were viewed by Turning Point USA. And so, congratulations, Turning Point USA and Racist People. You didn't get to do what you thought you were going to do, but such is life. And
Even
yeah,
Turning Point, even the people at Turning Point and the racist people, they watched the Super Bowl halftime show just so they could have something to say bad about it. But
isn't
you
that
know,
something?
let me and real quick, because we're going into day 5 of people debating over the Super Bowl and trying to tell people what it was about and trying to talk. Let me just remind us colored folk, black folk, Bad Bunny's potential fan base. Almost half of them voted for the state of affairs we're at now. So
I saw you post that
yeah.
earlier today.
Because I mean, maybe Sunday we can talk about it, maybe Monday or
Mhm.
Tuesday, but at some point, this got to bow out. The battle is not ours. This is not our
Right,
battle.
right,
We did what we needed
definitely.
to do. Let them carry that torch the rest of the way.
What was your thought about the commercials? I didn't think the commercials were particularly strong this year, but there were two commercials that really kind of scared me, that stood out. One was the Ring commercial. Now, we already know that it's cameras everywhere. And trust me, if you don't think they can go into your camera and get what's in your camera, then you must be very naive. You're as naive as the Notre Dame linebacker who got catfish. Okay, and so Manti
Manti,
Te'o, you
Manti.
yeah, Manti Te'o, you're as naive as he is if you don't think they were already doing that with these cameras. Okay, but Ring just went here and just let you know, hey, if your dog is lost, we can find your dog. Just register, and
We
we'll
gonna
do facial
triangulate
recognition.
the
We're gonna
cameras.
triangulate and go in everybody's camera and find your dog. I'm sure Savannah Guthrie probably wished they could have did this for her mother. Like, why can't y'all triangulate
Oh,
these cameras and find my mama?
oh, you.
I love
Uh,
Savannah. I'm not trying to crack, but I'm saying you know y'all can triangulate the cameras for a canine. And so yeah, this that was scary. It was scary. Everybody's been saying get rid of your Ring cameras. Well, everybody got a camera. I got a Google Nest camera. So trust me,
Man,
if they want to go ahead and take a look at my camera, they can go ahead and take a look at my camera without me knowing. And then the second commercial, Calvin, was the Mike Tyson commercial. Did you see that one?
I don't remember the Mike Tyson commercial.
Mike Tyson's on there talking about his sister died because she was obese, and
I
he
remember
wanted
that.
to kill himself because he was a fat slob. And America is just filled with fat, flubby people, and we need to get rid of processed food and eat real food. And so he starts eating an apple and a carrot. And you did see this commercial?
I don't. So I'm not a commercial guy. There's a couple I remember, but I get up and go to the bathroom.
I'm gonna have to send you the link. But yeah, Mike Tyson, he's on screen talking about how his sister died because she was obese and how he was up to 370 pounds or something, and he wanted to kill himself because he was fat and he was a slob and he couldn't do anything. And America is just filled with fat, flubby people, and we need to get rid of processed food. It was a ad that was sponsored by Kennedy and the health department of eat
I
healthy
def
food.
I definitely didn't see that. Didn't see that.
Yeah, bro, you got. I'm gonna have to send you the link, but yeah, that was a little bit off. But in terms of they're paying a lot for these commercials. The Dunkin' Donuts commercial with Ben Affleck, okay, that was a little funny too. But outside of that, saw a lot of crypto commercials. I guess crypto is making a comeback. We did have a commercial about getting your prostate exam, the tight ends, and so they're saying, you don't have to tighten your butt anymore. You can actually go get a blood test to let you
Mhm.
know if you got the markers, and then everybody's butt eased up. And so, um,
That
other
was
than that, man, the
they
commercials were
should have
kind of
they should have
unremarkable.
put pause. They should have put pause on the end of that commercial because I ain't need to see man butts dropping. Um, I was really upset that Pepsi took the Coca-Cola polar bear
Yeah,
because I'm a Coca-Cola guy. I think Pepsi is a little too sweet for me, so that really got to me. The I don't know. I think you said the Ben Affleck commercial. I think this was a Dunkin'
yeah,
Donuts
Dunkin'
commercial
Donuts. Hmm.
where they had the sitcom characters. You saw
Yes.
Urkel and
Hmm.
everybody. That yeah. So
Yeah.
those are the two that I really remember. Those are the two that stood out in my mind. But I don't pay much attention to the commercials. I'm with you. I don't think the commercials hit like they used to back in the time where they would always talk about the commercials. They'd let you know what was coming. This commercial's coming up. I don't think they really have the same impact like they used to.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. All right, so man, let's go ahead and transition. Talk about we didn't get to talk about this last week, but the NFL made some awards last week. Matt Stafford, he won MVP. I believe that's his first MVP
Mhm.
in the league. Congratulations to him. As a matter of fact, he'll be back next season. He's already said that. Led the league in passing as well as touchdowns. Defensive Player of the Year went to Myles Garrett, of course, defensive end for the Browns. It was his second consecutive Defensive Player of the Year. He had an NFL record 23 sacks this past season. Offensive Player of the Year went to Jackson Smith and Jigba. He led the NFL with a career high 1,793 receiving yards, and which was the eighth most in any season in NFL history. Offensive Rookie of the Year was Ted McMillan, wide receiver with the Panthers. He led all rookies in receiving yards, a little over 1,000, and touchdown catches with 7. Defensive Rookie of the Year was Browns linebacker Carson Swessinger. He led all rookies with 157 tackles and 11 tackles for loss. He played really well. Comeback Player of the Year was Christian McCaffrey. With the Niners, he had over 2,000 yards from scrimmage this season. And Coach of the Year went to Mike Vrabel. Any thoughts about these awards? Somebody that maybe didn't get it that should have gotten it?
Not really. I the only one I could think of, if what's his face with the Packers now had stayed healthy, he might have beat out Myles Garrett for that award. Even though Myles Garrett broke the record, I think the impact that, and I don't know why I don't remember his name. Jay, we don't remember names. We try and tell you that.
Right.
Micah Parsons.
Yeah, Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons is just he's just a game changer. Ted McMillan got caught saying the N word playing a video game early last week. So hope he gets over that. I hope he doesn't get hurt by that too much. So like I didn't.
Sure.
He was playing video game. It didn't bother me. My only question now is, with an MVP, with a Super Bowl ring, is Matt Stafford a Hall of Famer? We'll never talk about first ballot Hall of Famers again, because if Bill Belichick isn't a first ballot Hall of Famer, no
Sure.
one is. So is Matt Stafford a Hall of Famer? I say he is.
I would say yes as well.
Okay.
I know there's some say he was just a stat hoe, that he put up a lot of stats, but no wins. But he's won a Super Bowl. Now he's won an MVP. They
Yeah,
were in
man.
the NFC Championship game. He's been there a couple years. They've had playoff success. He's won some big games. Yes.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, that segues us to the Hall of Fame class of 2026. They announced that class with 5 players, including quarterback Drew Brees, wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald, as well as Brees and Fitzgerald. They got the nod in their first year. This is their first year of eligibility. They'll be joined by kicker Adam Vinatieri and linebacker Luke Kuechly, who are in their second year of eligibility. And rounding out the class is our running back Roger Craig, who was a seniors finalist, and the controversy around with Belichick and Robert Kraft and these senior finalists. Former Ravens Marshall Yonder and Terrell Suggs were not selected, but they automatically are finalists for the class of 2027 because they advanced to the final cut down this year. And so do you think at least Suggs makes it next year? You think both of them make it next year?
Yeah, I actually think both of them make it next year. Marshall Yonder was key in the Ravens offensive line. I think Marshall Yonder, and he wasn't underrated. Guards just don't get a whole lot of attention.
Sure.
But he was not underrated. He was always ranked top every season he's played. So yeah, and Suggs is just a game changer. I did not realize that Suggs holds a record for most tackles lost.
Yes.
Most tackles for loss. I did not know that, but yeah,
Yes.
they're definitely shoe-ins. It's about
I
time.
thought. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's about time Roger Craig got in. It's one of them things where you like, how does Roger Craig wait so long?
Right.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm and maybe because I'm not a Panthers fan, I'm a little Kuechly. How does Kuechly?
Yeah, I was going to say that because when I looked at Suggs stats and Kuechly's stats, now Kuechly, he was the man when he played. Suggs
He
is a
was.
two. He's
But
a
he
two.
also
Suggs,
he retired early. I mean, it was injury.
well,
But
he retired because of concussions.
yeah,
But Suggs is a 2-time Super Bowl champion. He won Defensive Player of the Year once. He was Defensive Rookie of the Year. He's made one All-Pro team. He was made second team once. He was a 7-time Pro Bowler. He was the NFL leader in forced fumbles, 139 sacks, 39 forced fumbles, and as you said, number 1 in tackles for loss in NFL history. I thought that was pretty worthy for at least a first ballot, at no less the second ballot. And I think some of his personal thing, and then here we go again. I think we're making judgments of people in the Hall of Fame, not on the accomplishments on the field between the lines. We're also factoring in these personal, private issues into it, which I don't really think should factor into it. I mean, unless he went out there and he unalived someone, or, he did, serious harm to people, then I would understand that. But Yeah, this is a guy. His performance on the field says Hall of Famer. And
Hall
as a
of
matter of
Fame.
fact, his stats are just as comparable to Kuechly's, a person who just gets in their second year of eligibility. I know we was funny. We were talking about a local sports broadcaster. I mentioned his name a little earlier, and that's the Aparicio. I'm sure he doesn't listen to this. Um, he was one of the persons that said he would never give his vote to Terrell Suggs. As long as he had it, he'll vote for Marshall Yonder, but he would never vote for Terrell Suggs. And I think, that's probably a sentiment of why, this man is going to be on third ballot where he should have been a first ballot.
Should have been the first ballot Hall of Famer. Should have been.
Yeah. All right. All right. The Raiders, they hire Clint Kubiak as their new head coach. They're giving him a 5-year contract. Kubiak's the son of former Denver Broncos head coach Gary Kubiak, and he will be the Raiders' fifth full-term coach since 2021. In his one season in Seattle, he helped the Seattle's offense behind Sam Darnold. They ranked third in points, eighth in total yards. They were tied for 10th in rushing yards, and they were eighth in passing yards per game. Is this a good hire for the Raiders?
Yeah, man. We've talked about this before. Ashton Genty, Brock Bowers. You got the number one pick, which is most likely going to be the quarterback. So yeah, I think it's a good. I think it's a new day for the Raiders. I look at the Raiders as being, formidable. You got a rookie quarterback, so you can't give them but so much. But formidable in the AFC West. And Kubiak's a good offensive mind. So yeah, man, I think it's a good hire for the Raiders. Actually,
Does this definitely mean that they're going to take Mendoza with the first pick?
I think so. Yeah. Unless they
Yeah.
unless they traded away for they got to get a quarterback. They're not going to do anything with Geno, so they got to get a quarterback. Unless they traded away for a veteran quarterback, which I don't think they want. When you got the young Brock Bowers and the young Ashton Genty, I think you want these guys to start working together and grow together and possibly build some sort of dynasty with the Raiders. So yeah, I think it's absolutely means they're taking them with the first pick.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is a great hire for them. I think that they got some good pieces on offense with Gentry and Bowers. They're going to have to figure out that offensive line. They're definitely, it looks like Max Crosby saying, at least he's saying it in the press, that he's not the person trying to leave. But, that's the only asset they really have to get more draft picks or other players. And so I'm sure he's probably going to be at least shock to some teams in terms of teams that are drafting high as they look to stack some picks to rebuild that team quickly. Although he gets a 5-year contract, if they're not really moving by year 3, it might not make it to 5. And so we see what happens with them. There was an interesting article today on the ESPN.com page. It was entitled "Why Lamar Wasn't Himself in 2025." And the article was kind of like asking 3 former NFL MVPs, Rich Gannon, Matt Ryan, and Kurt Warner, what were their observations about Lamar Jackson's performance in 2025, and what did they think were some of the concerns and maybe what needs to change or improve for him? And so there were a couple of things that the article pointed out. One was there was a drop in Lamar's accuracy rate. Last season, he had a precision pass rate of about 48%, which was his lowest since his rookie season. His highest rates came in 2019 and in 2023, which were his MVP seasons. They also pointed out injury impact or lack of practice. In his first 3 starts, the Ravens were the highest scoring team in the league, averaging 37 points per game. But after he returned from hamstring injury 5 weeks later, the Ravens scored fewer than 30 points in each of Jackson's last 10 starts, which was the longest single season drought of his career. Also, they pointed out poor pass protection in 2024. Jackson, he produced, that career high where he really should have won the MVP of over 4,000 yards passing and 41 touchdowns. But he also had the best pass protection of his career that year. He was only sacked 23 times. This past season, he had the worst protection of his career. He was sacked at least 9% of the times that he dropped back. and he faced a pressure rate of at least 37%, which was the second worst in the league. And then they pointed out something that we all see here when we be screaming at the TV. He don't run no more. The most dramatic change in his game in 2025 was the deep decline in his rushing attempts. He only carried the ball 5.2 times per game, which was 3 attempts per game fewer than any previous season. And so, out of those things that they mentioned, in your opinion, what was the biggest factor that impacted Lamar's play during the 2025 season?
So I think it's actually two factors that equally did it, and that's the injury and the offensive line. We talked about he wasn't running. I don't know if that he wasn't running or that he couldn't run. Your offensive line is like Swiss cheese. You don't have any lanes to run in. Number one, you're injured. So you're not even going to have any bursts because there were a lot of times he did try to run and he was just getting things we've never seen. He was getting run down in the backfield. Guys were able to hit him by the leg or grab him before he could get out. Also, you coming off a hamstring injury, which is an injury that is lingering. Maybe you're a little too scared to use it. You know what I mean? You're going to be a little running on a little ginger. We saw by the time
Definitely.
they played the game in Pittsburgh, he finally looked fully healthy. It's a shame that the kick was missed, but he looked fully healthy. One thing on the article that I took from that I was like, this is absolutely true. It's basic, but you can't deny it. I think it was Gannon that said it. A, a bad offensive line will make an elite quarterback
Yeah,
look
yeah,
good, make a good quarterback look average, and make an average quarterback look bad. It was something along that line. And I was like,
yes.
that is absolutely true. And that is absolutely what happened to Lamar because he went from elite to good. And for Lamar Jackson and the team that depended on Lamar Jackson, good isn't good enough to advance them. They didn't have enough to carry that.
Yeah, I agree about the poor pass protection piece. I think that's probably number one for me. The Ravens, they really had not properly replaced linemen that they just let walk over the last 3 seasons. They had Moses Morgan, they had John Simpson playing one year, they let them walk. Then the next year, they let Kevin Zeitler and they let him walk. And then the following year, they let Patrick McCurry walk. The replacements have not been to that level. You replace him with Daniel Faalale, and you replace him with Andrew Voorhees, who did not have a great season. Um,
You're being
Rosengarten,
kind. You're being kind. Did
yeah,
not
I'm
have
being
a
kind.
great season is giving him too much credit.
And then Roger Rosengarten, he's been up and down. I mean, steady some games, not so steady other games. And so I don't think they made a lot of investment there because Lamar is a quarterback that can avoid the rush. And so I don't think they put a lot of capital into the line. And I think they need to change that really. They need to put the capital back in the line because when he has his time, he's proven he can throw the ball. He's comfortable with running the ball. He's not getting hit all that often. It was times in games where he would get the ball, and I mean, immediately the rush would be on him. He could that Pittsburgh game, those two touchdown passes. He was under duress. The first one to Zay, he had to duck in between two tacklers and get out of that and throw a 50-plus-yard touchdown. And then the throw to likely to set up the field goal, he was under pressure then too. And so,
And that was
yeah,
a
it
fourth
just
down. That
and
was
that
a
was a
fourth
fourth down, and that was a fourth down, and so yeah, that pass protection really failed them this season. And I think once you get dinged up, yeah, you start really running. I think that injury impact. I wouldn't say lack of practice because the system hadn't changed. You had the same system, and he
right.
basically had the same
Exactly.
players for the last 3 seasons. And so it's yeah, time is important, but it's not like he's working in new receivers. The only new receiver he had was the guy that came from Houston. Oh my God, why I want to forget his name? We forget names on this show. Hopkins, DeAndre
DeAndre.
Hopkins. Yeah, so the only new receiver he had really to work with was DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, but Zay's been here, Likely's been here, Andrew's been his main receiver since forever. Bateman's been here, and so it was not like he really was. He had to adapt to a whole new staff, and so I don't put too much weight on the practice speed, but I do put a lot of weight on the injury impact because eventually you start getting gunshot, and that affects your accuracy. That affects your movement. Uh, I don't want to see him running all the time. Lamar has proven he can beat you from the pocket.
Right.
It's amazing that people who were on him for running too much early in his career are now saying he's not running enough later in his career. That's crazy. Oh, he needs to develop in the pocket. He needs to become a better passer from the pocket. They're never going to win unless he can throw from the pocket. Now he's throwing from the pocket, and hey, he don't run enough anymore.
Setting records in the pocket.
He's setting records in the pocket now. Highest passer rating in the history of the league. But now he doesn't run enough anymore. So, yeah, go ahead.
Another thing that I think hurts Lamar is ego, and not ego in a bad way, but the article even kind of alluded to it. Lamar, I think he feels like he has to be the hero of the team, and that's because that's how they make it. He has to be the hero. So when he is kind of hurt, he's not gonna, although he has sat out, but he's playing hurt. He's still trying to do things that he's playing hero ball. How many times have we just said throw the ball away? Take the sack. Like, don't put yourself in harm's way. Don't take the hit. Just do something. There's a lot of times it seems like he's trying to do a little more than he needs to do. You got a team that you have to try to depend on, albeit they weren't always there for you. But yeah, man, it's the Ravens, one of the things that I've heard throughout the season and definitely in this off season is that their philosophy, and a lot of NFL philosophies, are building from the outside in, starting with receivers and safeties. But the Ravens need to now, it's imperative, they have to start building from the inside out. They've got to address this offensive line, this defensive line, and start working their way out. I think that's what's it's going to help them if they do it properly. EDC, looking at you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at you.
Yeah, I agree with you. They need to address the line. Line play definitely is something, and I think they can fix it relatively quickly. Pass, pass protection to me is the key this season. They really, I've seen a lot of mocks. Excuse me. I've seen a lot of mocks with them drafting a wide receiver. I don't think they need to draft another wide receiver. You got Tez Walker on this.
Not early.
You got Tez Walker on this team. You got Zay. You got Bateman. He's still under contract. Hopkins wants to come back. You got enough there that you can be sufficient. I think they have to address the protection of Lamar. That's important. They're not going to go unless Lamar is protected. And, that should be the highest priority.
Protection and pass rush. They got to get a pass rushing, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, that goes without saying. I mean, Chris Collinsworth said it last season in that last game that the reason they're going to look back at the season and the reason why they lost this game and did not make the playoffs is because they don't have a pass rush.
They don't have a pass rusher.
They don't have a pass rush. All right, man, let's talk about your favorite thing, the Orioles. Spring training, man.
We back, baby. We back.
Calvin, they just got there. What, last week? No, Monday.
I just want y'all, because I like receipts. Y'all know this. I just want y'all to rewind this podcast about 45 minutes ago. And this man said, I'm not an Orioles hater.
I'm not an Orioles hater.
Orioles, he go,
I'm not an Orioles hater. Stop it. But yeah, man, they already started. The injury bug is already there in Sarasota. Jackson Holiday broke the hamate bone in his right hand, and he's going to be out for the first several weeks of the season. In addition, Jordan Westberg has had tweaked his oblique, same one that he was sidelining with several times last season, and he's going to miss some spring training games. And so already the news out of Sarasota has not necessarily been great in terms of the health of two of your main players that you were counting on to be in your lineup. And so that does open up an opportunity for Kobe Mayo to possibly start on the major league roster, at least. The guy they just picked up from Arizona, he's probably going to be playing in a lot of games to start off the season as they try to work it out and wait for Holiday. And hopefully Westberg is ready by the beginning of the season. But, you never know. They might move him to second and play the guy that they picked up from Arizona at third along with Kobe Mayo. What's your
I
thoughts
didn't
on that?
even I didn't even know we had a ham bone. So,
Yeah, Hambo had you heard.
if exactly. Jackson Holiday should have been playing music with his ham bone, and then he wouldn't have heard it. Hey man, I read up on that injury, and it seems like three Francisco Lindor and
Yes, a couple people
yeah, a
happened to
couple
already.
people have it. And they're saying it's kind of an anomaly. But they were talking about, they said the doctors can just cut it off. It's not that big of a deal as far as recovering. But the problem is, once you start recovering, that 6 weeks it's going to take, will it still be sore after that? Like, but they said the surgery and the recovery should be rather easy. It's just the long-term effect after that, the aching and all. So will they still
Yeah.
feel comfortable swinging the bat?
Yeah, so we're probably not going to see Holiday at least until May.
They said Lindor is playing. Did you see that? The Mets said
No.
Lindor's the Mets
Okay.
said they are, well, not that he's playing. Their goal is to have him ready for their opening day for their first game.
Okay. Not the Orioles. All right. The team signed right-hand pitcher Chris Bassett to a 1-year, $18.5 million contract. Bassett, who turns 37 later this month, went 11-9 for the Toronto Blue Jays last season, posting a 3.96 ERA with 166 strikeouts and a little over 170 innings. Do you like the signing?
Yeah, man, sub 4 ERA. The guy pitched very well in the playoffs last year for the Blue Jays. Solid starter. I mean, 37 is a little older, but shit. Fucking Phil Negro just retired last year, and Nolan Ryan just retired the year before that. So they pitched until they were 139. I think, yeah, they got 100 years on him. This guy should be good.
All right, all right. I think so as well. They need arms. We want to see how these arms do come the season. Pitching's going to be a premium. You got a innings eater out there. I think that should be good for the ball club. Calvin, there's something happening this weekend, man. Did you know that the NBA All-Star Game is this weekend?
Bruh, I don't know who had the worst advertising, the NBA All-Star Game or the Winter Olympics, because both of them just snuck up on you.
Right. It's like I was like, okay, they talking about the NBA also. I was like, that's this weekend. You hadn't heard nothing about the dunk contest, the 3-point shooting contest, the game, or what have you.
Celebrity game is
I heard
Friday.
anything.
That's tomorrow. The celebrity game is tomorrow. It was just like I was watching something and they were like, yeah, this, and this, and this. And then it was like something that came across was like, oh, yeah, by the way, this is All-Star Weekend. I don't even know where it is. All-Star Weekend used to be.
It's in Inglewood, It's going to be at the Intuit Dome where the Clippers play. It's in LA.
All-Star Weekend used to be a big deal.
Used
now
to be a big deal. It's I really don't know who playing. They're doing.
I was about to say I don't even know who playing.
They're doing a different format this year. It's going to feature a new U.S. versus the world round robin tournament format comprising 3 teams, 2 USA squads. One is going to be called the Stars. The other is going to be called the Stripes, and 1 international team. There's going to be 4 12-minute games, which will determine the winner based on best record. There's going to be $1.8 million on the line with $125K for each winning player. Calvin, they playing like at the Y. Like, who got next? You got your 5? We got next. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna play the 12. Y'all lose. Y'all go ahead and step off the court. Get the next 5 on. Y'all go ahead and play them. Oh, okay. Whoever got Calvin, let me read This is crazy. And so on the let's see, on the Stars squad, you got Scotty Bonds, Devin Booker, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Doran, Anthony Edwards, Chet Holmgren, Jalen Johnson, and Tyrese Maxey. Only about 4 or 5 of those people I know. On the Stripes team, Jalen Brown, Jalen Brunson, Steph Curry's on there, but he's not playing because he's injured. KD, Brandon Ingram, LeBron, Kawhi, Donovan Mitchell, and Norman Powell. And on the world team, you have Giannis. They still don't know if Giannis is going to play or not. Guy to play with that the Wizards gave away, Denny Avdija, Luka Doncic. They're not quite sure if he's going to play, but I heard word that he possibly may play. SGA, he's injured. He's not going to play. Djokovic, Jamal Murray, he's from Canada, if you didn't know that. Sagoon from the Rockets, Pascal Siakam from the Pacers, Carl Anthony Towns, and Victor Wembanyama.
So when the world team wins again, because there's nothing higher than the NBA, because the last time the world team was winning shit, they had to go to the NBA players. They ain't want them to keep beating up them college
Right,
boys. So what
right.
happens now when the world team wins? Because the world team is going to win this. We
Yeah.
we they should have been, and I don't even know where they get stars and stripes. They should have said veterans and babies or something, because I don't even
I
know
don't
where they
know.
get stars and stripes. But the world team is going to win. I would only watch because I really, really am impressed with Wembyana. Wemby. We
Yeah,
he
yeah,
they
yeah.
talked about him when he came in a couple seasons ago, how he was going to change the game. Oh
Mm-hmm.
boy. Oh
Mm-hmm.
boy. He
Definitely,
has they
definitely.
said he has more 40-point games in his career now than Tim Duncan had in his entire career.
Wow. Wow.
Oh boy.
Yeah, yeah. I'm with you, Calvin. I probably would tune in passing, maybe watch a minute or two of it. Um, you know how I feel about All Star games. I think they've gone past their purpose now. Nobody's playing hard in them. I understand it's for the sponsors, all of those things, but in terms of a TV product, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's not something you want to watch. It's not something you want to give time to because the players don't really care. I know it used to be a prestigious thing, a prestige thing to see the player from your city in the All Star game. I remember when I was little, I would love to see an Oriole in the All Star game, or
Always.
the when the Colts were here. I'd love to see the Colt in the Pro Bowl. That meant something, but now it doesn't mean anything. And yeah, I guess they're gonna have to go through with it, but I don't care how much money they throw at it. It's kind of like a mute thing now. So nobody really cares. I mean, you talk about people talking about the Pro Bowls, like yeah, now it's flag football, and nobody's really paying attention to that. I think the ratings for that dipped again this season, and so of course we'll see what the ratings are from this weekend, and everybody's going to pan it, and they need to get rid of it and everything. So people get ready. All right, man. That brings us to the point in the show that everybody loves. Come on, yo. So, Calvin, you got to come on, yo, for us.
Yeah, man. I told you earlier I was going to have a hot take on these Orioles pitching.
Yes.
This is listen. The Orioles ain't signed none of these real big names that they talked about. We're gonna sign this guy, we're gonna sign that guy. And the Orioles have always been what they would consider a small market team. So they've always
Mhm.
been, every time we see somebody, we'll be like, the Orioles ain't gonna pay that kind of money. For the Orioles ain't gonna pay that kind of money. They just lost out on Framber. Or everybody thought he was coming, but they lost out on him. And you just keep wondering why the Orioles losing out on these pitchers. Well, last Monday, if you have an Orioles season plan, they took the final payment out for everybody's Orioles season plan, and all of a sudden, they signed a starting pitcher. Let me find out my Orioles are broke and they need us to help them sign players. Come on, Orioles. Who is your finance guy? What is the hell is going on with listen? If that's the case, then y'all need to stop putting people on payment plans. Just get all your money up front. God damn, we fucking got the Klarna of the damn MLB. The Orioles are the Klarna of MLB. You pay over
Four
time.
payments. Pay 4 payments. Get a player. Pay
Come
4 players.
on,
It's
yo. Come
like
on,
putting some
Orioles.
Adidas on layaway.
And then listen. Don't miss a payment with the Orioles. These niggas, if the payment get
They will
missed,
call you.
they calling you at 7:01 the next day. Hey, where that payment?
They
Y'all
ain't
know we
playing.
gotta sign somebody. We out here looking for pitchers, but we can't sign nobody because you missed your payment.
Calvin, you say
Everything okay?
they out here kiting checks. They writing the check and say, hold this for a couple days.
You
Don't put it
can't
in
do,
yet.
and you can't do that no more because that
Yeah, you
teletext
can't
shit
do it
is
anymore.
over. They running that shit immediately. They like,
You
hey,
right, they take it right on out. But yeah, back in the day, used to be like you would post date it. Like, all right, I'm gonna
you
post
got
date
like
this about
you
three,
got
four
like three,
days.
4 days. The Orioles ass is like, we want to sign you, but can you wait till Wednesday?
Right. We're gonna sign you on Wednesday. That's when we know all
we
the money.
collect
That's
our
when the
payment.
benefits come in. This is when we collect our payments. And then we know we can sign you. The money gonna be there.
The Baltimore affirm Orioles. That's what I'm gonna start calling these Klarna ass niggas. The
Yo,
Baltimore
they
affirm.
JG Wentworth. I need my money and I need it now.
Yo,
It's my money and I need it
the,
now.
the Orioles out here giving payday loans and shit.
Right.
Come on, Orioles, get the shit together, man.
Oh my
Ain't no
goodness.
more payments, so I guess we watch. We not signing anybody else this
We
season
done.
because all the payments are done. They got all their money
We
now.
done.
They
We
got all their
done.
money.
Oh my goodness. All right, man. Come on, yo. Men's luge doubles. Calvin, I was working from home the other day and I got a TV on my desk and I went ahead and flicked it on. I haven't really watched the Olympics. I'm sorry. It's not my cup of tea. I don't care about skating or anything. But hey, whatever. And so, there's nothing on TV during the day. So I just let me go ahead and put on one, the Olympic events and stuff while I'm working. And so I'm working. I just happen to look over and I see it's the men's luge competition, the double luge. Now, if you don't know what the luge is kind of like you are on a kind of like a sled and you're sliding down this kind of like this ice track and you're going real fast. And so it's real dangerous enough for just one person on the sled. But I look up, it was two men on the sledge. One man was on the bottom, and there was another man laying between his legs, laid back on top of him. So get that picture in your mind. One man on the bottom, legs open. Then there was a dude like sitting between his legs, like he getting his hair plaited, and he laying back on top of him as they speed down this course, going like 60 miles per hour. Come on, yo. Y'all need to the double men's luge. Now, I did see the women's double luge. I ain't had no problem with the women's double luge. Scissor me crazy with that one. Y'all go ahead and y'all work that one out. But the men's double luge ain't no way in God's green earth I'm sitting between some man leg to get a gold medal. I done trained 4 years to sit between some dude's legs as we in skin tight suits shoot down this course for a gold medal.
I'm so
Nah,
mad at
man.
Garland.
Man.
Garland,
So come on with this men's luge. Y'all need to stop making up these sports. Y'all need to stop making up these competitions. But
Golly.
the men's luge, nah, yo, stop it. We ain't. I'm sorry. You go ahead and you slide down by yourself. I don't come to me talking. Hey man, let's team up. You fast, I'm fast. We could go down together. No, we can't. No, we can't. You go ahead, bro. That's like when the barber come by and he be cutting your hair and he kind of like bump you with his little print on your. You be like, whoa, Bob. I'm gonna be laying on your print while we riding down here for a gold medal.
Golly,
The devil.
this ain't the first year that niggas have been nestled in the crotch bosom of another nigga.
It's the first time I saw it, and I immediately was like, "The hell not!"
Can you imagine? So you were just talking about pickup games, like who got next? I'm on your squad. So they got the double luge pickup in some of these mountainy sports. So they be like, who got next? Me. Me.
No. I'll take the bottom. You go ahead, you get on top and you stare.
Nestled in the bosoms of another man's crotch while wisping down the track.
Calvin, when I saw it, I was like, they got a men's this is a real thing.
They should call it the double pause. The double pause race.
And when they got to the finish line, they didn't immediately get up. They kind of like, hey, let's get a flag and wrap it around our bodies while we get
the ambiguously gay duo would love this. They'd be like, what?
Yes. What? What's wrong? This is a real competition. Yeah. Go faster.
That's one of them sports that used to be on just channels like DAZN and them obscure sports channels that you would see.
You know what? I heard that the black guys are doing it on the Zeus network. And so it's going to be a new sport on the Zeus network.
But wait. So I haven't watched the Olympics either, but did you see Jake Paul's girl, the speed skater? All right, you see the look. Although I haven't been watching, I'm going to start watching the women's skeleton, because that's when they on top of the sled and they're laying on the sled and they go down the same type of course and they look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man back there. That thing be juggling.
Be like jello.
They got a girl from Italy.
I just looked up Jake Paul's Olympics.
My.
All right, I'll watch that, but I'm not watching any more men's.
What? Look up some women's skeleton. Look up some women's skeletons. You'll see some in there. You'll be like, good gosh.
I don't want to see no men's skeleton. I don't want to see no men's double loogies.
Hey,
double
man.
Lube. They called it double lube. I was like, I thought it was luge. They said, no, it's double lube.
Hey, let me cut this on. You about to get us canceled, sir. Hey, man, another offensive show. If we didn't offend you this week, we will try our best to offend your ass next week.
It's going to race down Charles Street. They're going to do one for Baltimore. It's called the Double Lube. We're going to
man,
all of with a hippo
podcast media platforms.
Live on YouTube. Check us out on all the podcast platforms. If you see us on Spotify, don't report us to the FCC. Hey, later, God.